joining us, we have Alex, and we're going to be talking with Alex a little bit about Habitat for Humanity and some different things going on with them. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now go ahead and start by reminding our viewers a little bit about Habitat for Humanity and what you guys are all about.
Okay, Habitat for Humanity, an international organization, the #1 builder in the world. Every 30 seconds a new Habitat house is completed.
Wow.
So in Watauga County, we've been building for 20 years. We just celebrated our 20th anniversary. And we are just starting our 25th house. And you know, we build these houses with volunteer labor for deserving families for our Watauga County residents.
That is a wonderful thing. So now you just had a dedication.
We did, yep. We just dedicated a home to Kenny and Melissa Finger and their 2 kids, Isaiah and Dakota. That was a couple weeks ago. Trying to get the CO so they can get moved in, and then they'll be ready to go. And that was our 24th house, and then we're just getting ready to, well, we've broken ground on our 25th house, which was another milestone for us. And that's for Colleen Critcher and her 4 children. And that's kind of what last time I was on here, we talked about the Builders Blitz.
Right.
And that's the concept behind this house. And we're working with the Home Builders Association locally, the High Country Home Builders Association. And they've stepped up and said that they'll all come in and build this house in 1 month.
Oh, goodness.
So, yes.
So now, how is that having to try to build a house in the winter?
It can be rather difficult, especially this past winter. I mean,
Yes.
we didn't have the best weather, but
Right.
we have good volunteers, and we have a good construction manager, Jim Rogers, and it slows us down. It's a little harder, but we get so many volunteers from Appalachian State, and so a lot of Habitat affiliates will shut down in the winter and not build, but we really need to take advantage of those eager Appalachian students to come help us out. So we brave it and get out there in cold weather and make it happen.
So the process just keeps going.
Yes, it does. And we have to have patient volunteers because we have to cancel every once in a while, but
Right.
it's the nature of the beast, I guess, living where we live.
Right.
Yes. Now talk with us a little bit about the Builders Blitz and kind of what that is and how it came about.
It started in Wake County, in Raleigh, in the early 2000s, and there was one builder who said that he challenged 8 of his friends to get together and see if they could all build a house in 1 week. And so each of the 8 builders built a house in 1 week. They committed to do it. They also raised $80,000.
Wow.
And so the houses only ended up costing $100,000, all the houses, and they did them in 5 days.
Wow.
So it's a little bit easier to build down there than it is up here, but that became an international or a national model. And in 2006, they had 470 homes that were built in that 5-day span. It's a 1-week thing. And then that's every 2 years. In 2008, it was 300, so it decreased, but that was just because of market conditions. So anyway, they're doing it again this year, and we're one of the affiliates that are doing it. So because we're building in the mountains and we're working off scaffolds, and it's a little bit harder, we're not building off ladders. They've given us a month to do ours. So we'll complete ours on the same day that the rest of them do, but we'll start a little earlier.
Perfect. So they're going to give you a little leeway there.
They are.
So,
Awesome.
And we've had, so it's basically the Home Builders Association and a lot of the local builders that will do this and donate their time. Phil Washburn from Capehart and Washburn's been real instrumental. David Moore, Matt Vincent helping us put this together. But we've got a lot more involvement from the local vendors, Mountain Lumber, New River. Basically all the local suppliers have come together, pulled together to give us materials for the houses, and Ferguson's donating some stuff, a lot of the different builders, and we're putting the list together, and we'll have a meeting today to find out who's definitely committed to the project, and we'll get that to you as soon as we do. But
that's awesome.
so we're excited about it. There's a lot of momentum behind it, and ready to really get it going, and that'll start in May, about May 15th, right around Mother's Day, and we'll end on Father's Day.
Perfect.
Very neat.
So what is the process of how these families are chosen?
It's a pretty exhaustive application process. I mean, they have to fill out an application, and it goes to our family selection committee, and they establish whether the partner family has the need. Are they living in substandard housing at that time, or if they're in something that's decent, then they probably wouldn't qualify. Do they have the ability to pay? So we look at credit, we look at their job. They have to fall in 30 to 60% of the median income for Watauga County. So for a family of four, that's roughly $17,000 to $35,000. So they have to have income in that range if they have four people in that household. Need, ability to pay, and just one more criteria. Oh, and willingness to partner. And that's that they agree to do our educational programs, which can be 10 to 15 hours of financial training, just how to be a homeowner, how to be a good neighbor, that type stuff. And then also agree to do the 250 hours of sweat equity, where they have to put that into the house themselves. And that's a pretty big, that's for each adult has to do 250 hours of sweat equity on that house. And that's a pretty major commitment on their part.
Yes, but that's great.
Yep. And then we sell that house to them at a zero interest loan. And the donated materials that we get and the volunteer labor bring the cost of that house way down. And then we offer the 0% loan, and that's kind of how it works.
Okay, well, it's great that you have people that will actually donate to be able to help with this great cause as well. So, and it sounds like you've got a lot of sponsors.
We do. I mean, and I would go through that list, but it's rather exhaustive right now, and we're finalizing that list. But we've had so much help. I mean, we're lucky to be in a community where we do get so much help from our local businesses and just from ASU, and just the whole community kind of pulls together to help all the nonprofits, and not just Habitat for Humanity, but all the nonprofits in Watauga County.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I've seen here in the high country. Everybody kind of just pulls together and helps everyone, and then you have things that are given to people here in the high country, or the money stays here. So it's a great thing that we can all kind of pull together and work together.
Absolutely.
And there's a need for it. I mean, there's so
Yes.
many. I mean, it's a hard place. I mean, it's an expensive place to live, and it's expensive to house your family, and it's expensive to do everything. I think we're about the third highest cost of living in the state. And for that reason, I mean, I think with that nonprofit sector, it you know, there's some much needed services out there that are provided, and it's good that our residents can pull together to support those. And we
Absolutely.
appreciate all the support that we get.
I'm sure.
So we just had this dedication. Talk with us a little bit about the dedication process and kind of what that experience is like, both on your end and what it seems like the family kind of feels about that.
I mean, I think that's when we kind of see that culmination of what we all do. It takes so many people to raise the money to put together all the different facets that go into run that organization, and picking the partner families and going through the education process. And so when we have that dedication, and that's usually right when we finish the house, you know, the family comes together. They bring their friends and their supporters in, all the Habitat people that are involved. They're fairly intimate, but this last one we had about 65 people, and it was really nice. And it's just when you can see just the joy on the faces of everybody involved, not just the partner family, but all the supporters and all the donors and everybody that came there together, that know they all made that happen. They can be a pretty special thing. And you know, you just, with the children involved, just when they see, you know, when they know that they're getting ready to have their own room, and a lot of times it's the first time they've had their own room, it's just so important to them. And you know, that just all the possibilities and permanence and all the just the fact that they're going to have their own home, and, you know, just the stuff that brings, it's great to see. And you see that at the dedications, that everybody's just so happy. And so yeah, this last one, just the fact that we had 65 people, it was great. That was one of the biggest ones we've had. The Fingers had a lot of supporters out there with them, and it was nice.
Yeah, your job has to be a very rewarding experience.
I like it. I mean, I love my job. It's and the dedications, I think, are the most rewarding part. Is just to they can be a little bit hectic to pull together, but then they pay off.
Absolutely.
In spades. So.
Absolutely.
And like, you know, just with a job like mine, just having a good board, having, you know, a good community around us, and doing good stuff, that just makes that real easy. So.
Right. That's wonderful.
Lots of cool things going on with you guys, and we will continue to kind of follow you guys through this Builder Blitz process and let you guys know how all of that is going. But thank you so much for coming in to talk
Sure.
with us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And we will be back right after these messages with more of the Mountain Television Network.